Hey YouTube, what's going on? LevelGolem13 here. And today I'm going to bring you a Monarch deck profile. Now, I know I'm a little late on making one of these, but this is my favorite deck. And since Pantheism came back to 3, it is finally up to full power. So yeah, let's get right into it. So first off, play 3 Aether, Heavenly Monarch. It is arguably the best Monarch in the deck. Super good. Her effect is that you can tribute this card by tributing one tribute summon monster. And then if this card is tributed, you can send 2 Monarch spell and trap cards with different names from your hand or deck to the graveyard, and if you special summon one monster with 2400 or more attack, 1000 defense from your deck, but return it to the hand during the end phase. And then during your opponent's main phase, if this card is in your hand, you can banish one Monarch spell and trap card from your grave and immediately tribute some of this. So it's really good. You can so much potential OTKs with her. Really good. And then it's really good with Stormforth, because then you can use their monster, and then just so 3 of her. Obviously you got to run 3 of her. Then you have to run 3 Erebus, the Underworld Monarch. He is the second. He's a little weaker than Aether with his effect, but it's still really good. So it has first kind of the same first effect, and then you tribute, you send 2 Monarch spell and trap cards, and then you get to shuffle back from your opponent's side of the field one card. So if it's your first turn and you summon him, you can shuffle back 1 card from their hand, field, or graveyard, so it's really good. And then its second effect is, once per turn, you can discard Monarch spell and trap card and return a Monarch card with 2400 or more attack and 1000 defense into your hand. So it's really good. You either want him in the graveyard to start out, or just summon him first turn. And then your starters. You got 1 main starter, and it's Adea, and then with her effect, it summons out Yugioh. So Adea, when it's normal or special summon, you can special summon a monster with 800 attack and 1000 defense to your side of the field, and then you go for Yugioh because his effect gives you a second normal summon, so it's really good. You obviously always want to have Adea in your hand, and then at least an Erebus or an Aether, or I play 2 Kuraz. Now, I don't have Kuraz. I lost them. I don't know where they went. So his effect is really good. It's whenever this card is normal special summon, you can target up to 2 cards on the field, destroy those targets, and if you do, each player can draw 1 card for each of the cards they control that was destroyed by this effect. This card cannot attack during the turn this is normal special summon though. So it's always good with hold on, let me find the card. With return, I'll get to that later, but that's a really good combo, because then if you normal summon him off of Adea or Yugioh, because Yugioh is really good because you can just summon him and tribute summon him off to this, and then Kuraz can pop your return, which return does, it adds a card, adds a monster with 2800 attack, 1000 defense, or 2400 attack, 1000 defense, and then since you pop it, you get to draw a card, so it's really good. You can play 2. I really wouldn't run it out. Well, you wouldn't run it at 3, but if you would run it at 1, the other one could possibly be Mega Thessalos. That's a really good card. He's gone up in price for whatever reason, because I think he got bought out. So yeah. And the last monster in the deck is 3 Vanity Fiend. Super good lockdown. You can summon him first turn if you got an Eidos, a Dea, and it locks your opponent out of special summoning. It locks you out of special summoning too, but it's like it pretty much doesn't matter, because then if your first turn, it pretty much locks them out. And then Piece de Resistance, 3 Pantheism, one of the best cards ever to be printed. Ever to be, yeah, period. One of the best draw cards. Send 1 Monarch spell trap card from your hand to the graveyard, draw 2 cards, period. Then you can banish this card from your graveyard and reveal 3 Monarch spell and trap cards from your deck. Your opponent chooses one, and if you do, add it to your hand and shuffle the deck afterwards. Rest back in your deck. You can only activate that effect once per turn, but you can activate the draw effect as multiple times as you want. So that's awesome. So useful. So happy it's back at 3. Then you run 3 Domain, namesake of the deck. Activate this card. It locks your opponent out of the extra deck, and then tribute summon monsters you control. If you control tribute summon monster, and then tribute summon monsters you control, gain 800 attack during your when they attack into an opponent's monster. So it's obviously really good, and then it can reduce the big guys like Aether and Erebus down to 6 stars, so you can tribute 1 monster, like, so you don't have to waste resources. Then play 3 Stormforth, like I was talking about earlier. Stormforth is really good. Once during the turn, it's a quick effect. If you would tribute summon a monster for a tribute summon, tribute 1 monster your opponent controls instead. So Aether's effect to tribute during your opponent's turn, you can activate Stormforth in tandem with that to tribute their monster, then get a pretty much a free summon. And then with that effect, when it is summoned, you get to activate her effect to do it again, and you can potentially add another one. And then another really good card, I think the next best card, is Tenacity. One of the best cards. Reveal 1 monster with 2400 attack and 1000 defense, or a 2800 attack and 1000 defense, and add 1 Monarch spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. That's pretty much it. You can only activate 1 of these per turn. That's really good. It's good to get out Stormforth, your Domain, your Pantheism, so it's really good. Or your returns. So return is also really good when it's when you tribute summon a monster. You get to activate 1 of these effects. Add a monster with 2800 attack and 1000 defense to your hand, or a 2400 attack and 1000 defense monster to your hand. So that's why Kuraz is really good to pop it and then add a card, so you can get your Aether, your Erebus, and then just then draw a card after that. Now I play 2 March of the Monarchs. I know not a lot of people play this, but it's really good. I would bump it down to 1 if you think it's too cloggy. But all tribute summon monsters you control cannot be targeted by or destroyed by card effects. And you can't special summon cards from the extra deck, but you don't play an extra deck, so it's really good. It's just free protection. Like, why wouldn't you play this? And then I play 2 Foolish Burial Goods. Really good. And send 1 spell and trap card from your deck to the graveyard. It's pretty much. You play that for the trap card, Prime Monarch. I'll get to that in a little bit. So it's just really good to just send it. And then a bunch of 1-ofs. I play 1 Reinforcement of the Army to get your Adea Searcher. Yeah, I would play this, or and 1 for 1. It's the 2 cards that searches for them, so it's really good. Same 1 for 1. You get a special summon, so I think that's a little bit better, but yeah. And one Monster Reborn, no explanation, just recursion. And then another card that came off the ban list, Harpy's Feather Duster. It's always really good. I think it'll be played in almost every side deck. But I feel it's really good in the main deck. You could move it to the side or just cut it. And I play one Regeki, same with that. It's just, yeah. And one Foolish Burial to send your Adea or your Erebus. I forgot about Adea. You can banish it. No, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can get back a banished spell trap card. That's why it's good to get Pantheism back in that. And then Eidos, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can get back a spellcaster. So it's usually Adea. And then one Upstart, just free draw. You got 1,000 for your opponent, but that's about it. And then on to the traps. I only play a couple. One Escalation, really, really good. It's kind of like with Aether's... No, Stormforth's effect, sorry. Once per turn... No, it is like Aether's. During your opponent's main phase, or your opponent's battle phase, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, tribute summon a monster. So it's really good, obviously. And then I play 2 Monarchs Rep. Now, people either play 1 to 0. I feel like 2 is pretty good. It's just, it kind of locks out your opponent if you can't get Vanity's Fiend. Because if you have a Tribute Summon monster, all other cards that aren't Tribute Summon monsters have no effect. So it's really, really good, really powerful. It can lock down a lot of decks, and if you don't have Domain, it's really good too, because then they can't activate. They would link it off or something. Yeah. And for the last card in the deck, I play 3 Prime. I know it's a lot. People usually play 2, but 3 I feel like is really good in this deck. And when it's you want to have this in the graveyard, it's okay if you have it in the hand, but you really don't want it to be in your hand. So you can banish one other spell trap card, Monarch spell trap card in the graveyard, and special summon it to your side of the field. It's got 1,000 attack and 2,400 defense. It's just another body on field, and you contribute it away and everything. So yeah, that's about it. I have a side deck, but it's not too important. I'll go through it really fast. I play 3 Lava Golem. I know you don't really need it. The monsters you don't really need, but I feel like the spells are kind of needed. Lancia is pretty good. I don't know anymore, but I play a 3rd Return on the side if you feel like you need another for Karaz. And I play 1 Card Destruction, just free recursion. And the one Called by the Grave. It's sad that got cut down to 1, but yeah. And I play 2 Forbidden Chalice. It's your budget Imperm, so it's really good. I feel like that's really good in this deck. 2 Twin Twisters, and then 2 Heavy Storm. That is just for Mystic Mine. For some reason, I see that a lot on Dueling Book and Yugioh Pro. So yeah, that's the deck. Hope you enjoyed, and comment down below what you want to see next. See you later, guys. Yeah, that's my Domain Monarch, one of my favorite decks ever to play. See ya. Have a good day.